Go for it.
Alrighty. I have to. I love that video too much not to.
No, that's a good video. And I gotta ask, did you animate that yourself? Because if you
No,
did, I'm
no,
impressed.
no. I mean, Toph did it. Literally, somebody in the community was like, "Hey, I made this for you guys," and then I was like, "Hey, can you put your watermark on it? Like, put your @ on it, so I can use it for the live stream." They're like, they just sent it back with the watermark.
I think in the future, if you ever join any G meets for business, that should be your introduction before the meeting even starts.
I love that. I love that. I'm definitely gonna do that. Any like home base related Google Meets, that is what the intro will be.
I like it. I like it. And it makes good for YouTube. So good for YouTube comment, good for everybody. We love it.
Yeah, I'm
So
glad to have
I'm
it.
gonna be I'm gonna be talking about gaming. Before I kick off the conversation, I feel I know your favorite game on base. Am I right in thinking it's Farmville?
Me?
Yeah.
I I don't play Farmville nearly as much as the rest because very early on I got fucked twice and I like farmed my Farmville, and then when I tried to sell the seeds I didn't receive the money from doing it, so I basically was like back at zero. So I my relationship with Farmville is more stringent, I would say. But I'm on the devs to make sure that doesn't happen again because for me to continue playing, I need bugs like that not to exist.
No, I like that, and I think that that's a common thing in a lot of base or a lot of games in general. You play, if one bad thing happens, you instantly call out the developer.
Yeah, yeah, no, literally. But they were super helpful. I mean, they literally responded almost instantly and were like, "Oh, we're working on it. We'll fix it, and we'll we'll make sure we give you your fake virtual currency back." And I was like, "Don't even worry about it. Like, well, I'll manage." But I have to say, I think I actually have been playing Farcade more than anything, just because there are so many like cool, fun games, and it's just like so easy. Like it's nothing like super intense. You don't have to spend a shitload of time doing it. You can just kind of hop in, try a few games out, and like find the ones that you enjoy.
Yeah, no, I like Barcade as well, and for everybody that's in this space, I'm gonna try to build a game live for everybody. And even if
Woo!
you're a non-developer, please do it with me. I'm not the best developer myself. I kind of lead the harder work to people more skilled, but we're going to be building a game on Farcade today, and I'll go through my presentation. After that, I'm gonna do the worst thing a game developer can ever do and try to build something live. So
Woo!
we're gonna
So
see how that goes. But
you
let
hear all
me
that, people? You better pay attention if you want to know how to build a game. Break it out, and Zach will make sure that you can follow along. And make sure you send your base names as soon as possible. Send those base names in the chat. We are ready to get those ENSs, those ETH addresses, those base names. Keep sending them. And I'll pass over to Zach. Everyone get ready for a show.
All right, let's do it, guys. And don't get your hopes up, but it's going to be great. Quick shout out to Tokimon for their comment in the section. I love seeing more gamers there. If you're a gamer, comment your favorite game because we want to shout it out. But let's get into it. So, what's going to be coming up in this presentation? It's why build a game on chain. What makes a game truly on chain versus on dash chain, which was the original way that people said on chain for so long? Why build a game on base, how to build an on-chain game, what tools you should use, and last but not least, probably the most stressful part of this call is going to be me struggling to build a game live for everybody to play. You can build it too. You can build it with me. I'm going to be sharing all of the repos in the comment section. If you run into any issues, feel free to just copy and paste. You can also fork the game on Farcade as well. But yeah, let's get into it. So about me, I'm the head of ecosystem growth at the Cartesi Foundation. I've been in Web3 since 2015. I've always focused on ecosystem growth, working with developers, bringing people in and bringing people on chain. I'm a project manager for 4 Web3 games and I'm advising 8 others. I love games in general. I think that that's probably the best way to bring the masses on chain itself. There's 3.3 billion active game developers out there. All of them are wasting their time by not earning any money. We can bring them all on chain. We can bring transparency to the game economy, and we can just kind of change what crypto itself is supposed to be. I'm also the co-founder of a game called Descend. I might bring that up later. I probably won't. It's a Unity-based MMORPG. So for any game developers out there, I'm a big Unity guy. If you're an Unreal person, I'm sorry, you're clearly more skilled than me. But yeah, I'm a big Unity guy. I've done 38 hackathons in the past, and I'm slowly making my way towards 40. Uh, Currently looking for a team for the next base build-a-thon. I have no idea what I'm going to build, but it's probably going to be a game. If you want to follow me, you can find me on all social media and communication apps at Zach Pratt or at Zach Prater. So this is how I build Web3 games, and it's going to be the really brief way because I'm not the best developer, and you'll find that out later on. I use the Unity game engine, which converts everything into WebGL, so it's browser-based. After it's browser-based, I connect it to ThirdWeb's Unity SDK for API client connection, contracts, wallets, everything. I think ThirdWeb is an amazing tool for people to be able to utilize for game development in general. They work with all engines. They work with all languages as well. We'll be discussing them a little bit later on in the meeting. And lastly, of course, all my games are deployed to base. Currently, I have 4 games that are deployed to base, and I'm working to bring a few more from the IMX ecosystem into base. We'll see what we can do together to bring everybody on chain. So, and this might be a cool topic for Luciano to talk with me about as well. What the difference is between a Web 2.5 game and a fully on-chain game. We had a game space a few days ago to where that topic got brought up, and there's clear differences between Web 2.5 games and fully Web 3 games. Luciano, if you could do me a favor, what's your opinion on Web 2.5 versus fully on-chain Web 3? Oh, you're muted.
It's unfortunate in the same way that we have to have Web 2.5 social apps and Web 2.5 financial apps and, all of the 2.5 versions first just to, get those Web 2 builders natively building in crypto and to get like Web 3 builders natively building for like real users. So it sucks that we kind of have to bridge the gap at 2.5, but it seems to be a necessary evil at this point in time. I'm hoping that's changing, especially like as the infrastructure gets better. I think there will be no reason to do 2.5. So as the infra and the tech continues to get better, as the tooling gets better, as base continues to grow, the team expands, these things will only continue to get better. So hopefully, like I'd say in like 2 to 3 years, new devs to the space, like hopefully fresh 18-year-olds, when they look at building an on-chain game on base, all they see is a ready ecosystem and ready tooling, and they can just go straight to building an on-chain game and an on-chain ecosystem and an on-chain economy. I mean, there's so many games that already exist that are super super popular, like Tarkov and like all
Yep.
these very obvious games that like should be brought on chain because of their economies. And it's just going to take a little bit of time for base to be able to sustain, like a Tarkov level economy, right? Like especially like in production without you having to manipulate that economy, from a very like traditional standpoint. Once you don't need those mechanisms and those levers, it's going to be really cool to see how like a free market actually exists in some of these games.
I fully agree, and I have to admit, even whenever we were at ETH Denver, both doing different hacker houses, Base increased their block size and how fast their chain operates in general. You'll notice one of the biggest problems with fully on-chain games is that there's gas limits and there's latency. As Base gets a lot faster, it's not going to be as much of an issue, and I think a lot of things are going to be a lot more possible in the future.
Are you
But
familiar with Steam's most popular game right now, Schedule One?
I am not.
So it's a hilarious game where more or less you become like a drug dealer and like grow a bunch of plants and stuff like that. And it's like been absolutely taking off. And it's one of those games where if the economy was on chain, it just wouldn't be as seamless. But it's like very obvious how it could be on chain, right? So it's like once the infrastructure gets to that point, like these sorts of like blow off the top like Steam games, it's like I think it was $17 per copy, and it was only one guy who made it. So he like overnight turned into a millionaire more or less once it got like real popularity. And this is exactly what we're gonna see in crypto, just without Steam taking 30%.
That's so true. And I think it's interesting. Whenever we were in Denver, the most popular game was a game where you dug a hole.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
just because of that one game, Third Web actually decided to integrate all Steam accounts to bring them fully on chain. There's a different there's a different workshop that Lamone went on where it's embedded wallets and unembedded wallets for Web3. It's an amazing workshop. Find it on the Homebase page, rewatch it. It was really good. So, yeah, but I fully agree whenever it comes to Web 2.5 to Web 3. I do think that there's a little bit of reasonings for Web 2.5. First of all, it's easy to use. It's the tooling that we've already used to where you just capitalize off of Web3's hype without really abandoning the Web 2 tools. I think
right,
that the biggest problem is that it's a single point of failure. For different for different games, they typically run on a single server, to where it's all only controlled by that team itself. And if we can decentralize that entire process or just have the game logic fully on chain, we add a lot of more security because we're bringing that blockchain side of security. For Web3 or fully on chain games, the biggest problem is just that they're overly complex. You have to think about the architecture of your game a lot more than just building it out. And you're limited on tooling, but Base is really stepping up. Third Web is really stepping up. There's a lot of different arcades that I'm going to mention that are stepping up as well. You'll see later on in the stream whenever I build a game fully with AI. So we're going to get better. Web3 is going to get better. And yeah, so why build a game on Base? I'm probably going to go pretty quick through this. First of all, Base is extremely cost effective for players and developers. As Base keeps increasing their block size, a lot more games are possible, and a lot more games are possible to be fully on chain. There's a lot of different Coinbase products, such as the Base Paymaster, to where people can use to just reduce fees entirely. The Coinbase ecosystem and developer tooling is really there for a lot of developers to use, such as easy fiat on ramps and off ramps, Coinbase Paymaster, which I've said again, Coinbase Smart Wallet, which I think is amazing, and most of all, base names, because you actually know who you're playing with and why. If you have a base name, comment it in the chat. I know Luciano is taking record of all of them. And
I'm
lastly,
waiting. Send those base names.
there's a massive community on Base. And with a massive community, there's massive liquidity on Base. A lot of Web3 games integrate some aspect of financialization into their games, such as Pock Pock, which is a game that's based on options trading. I think it's very interesting, but with the total amount of liquidity on Base chain, and it just consistently keeps growing, it's a strong community for you to be building in. Last, I'm a little biased. Me, bring your game to Base because of me. If you want to build your game on Base, you want to showcase it at a Base game night, I'm happy to have you. Base is happy to have you, and we're just happy to bring distribution. I also think that there's a lot of different tools for Base as well, such as Farcaster, such as Farcade, which we'll be checking out.
That's my
For
favorite
you,
plug so far on the entire live streams.
I like it. So there's a few different types of developers. I'm going to be shouting out some tools that I would recommend people look into. There's the Aviator Arcade Unity plugin. I added QR codes for people to be able to screenshot this on their phone or just look it up themselves. And there's a lot of Unity plugins just for developers itself. Aviator is there. B3 is also amazing. It's called basement.fun. Big shout out to B3 as they have 6 million total active wallets and total users. That means that whenever you're bringing your game to B3, it is their job to bring your game to 6 million of their users. That's the best distribution that you can have, and it's fully on Base. Lastly, which is probably the biggest tool I would recommend in general for all game developers, is Third Web. Third Web is kind of the hub for Base gaming. Check out their YouTube. They have amazing tutorials. Check out their documentation, whether it's Unity, Unreal, 3JS, or any way that you want to build your game at all, such as Pygame, which I think is a really cool thing that they did. That's where a lot of young developers such as myself got started. We started building with Pygame, and I think it's amazing that Third Web focuses on everything. I love the tutorials. I love everything about Third Web. So big shout out to them. For Unreal, you need to check out Base Cookbook. They have an amazing tutorial for you to actually integrate your Unity game within Third Web within under 2 hours. You go to the Base website, the Base Cookbook. It's in the QR code right here. It brings you to the Third Web page. You can watch the video. You can do everything. Third Web has amazing developer support on Discord. Base has amazing developer support on Discord. And it's just a really good SDK to use, in my opinion. Last, I'm going to struggle to build a game. So let's get into it. So for everyone watching, you're going to go to the Farcade website. And I'm going to talk about real quick why you're going to go to the Farcade website. You're going to go to the Farcade website because they just announced that they're doing a game jam with NounsDAO. Game jams are amazing. For anyone that hasn't joined one, I highly recommend joining one because it's the only area to where I see musicians, artists, designers, and then developers come together. Usually you only really need one developer. You just need a crazy person with creativity. Join this game jam, follow me on this stream, and you can submit your game to this game jam itself. Big shout out to NounsDAO and Farcade for not only hosting game jam, but also assisting me with it. You can win $800 from the top 10 submissions, and you can get 10K Farcade points. I really like it. So yeah, but let's go to farcade.ai. Once you get there, you're going to click the create. I already have that tab pulled up. It's right here. As you can see, I've been testing. I've been playing things. So let's create a game. I don't know what to call this. Play home. Oh, the Homebase team is going to be so insulted because the game's just going to be such poo.
Great.
All right, so you're going to click third party. You can follow along with me live in your comments. If you have any questions or if you run into any issues, you can also send them in your comments. Farcade team is really good on Discord with support. But the reason why I think everyone should follow along and do this with me is because amazing non-developers such as Satuit, I really think she can do this live, and I think she can do it with me if she wants to. But let's go. Next step.
You hear that, Statuette? You're going to be live next.
Yeah, called out. All right, so let's think about what game we're going to build. I like Space Invaders. So I'm going to type create a Space Invaders game where the player controls a spaceship that shoots missiles and destroys their enemies. The reason why I like Farcade is because it's fully AI. We're going to click Advanced Prompt. Farcade is just going to do it live for us. Copy prompts. And then it brings you to Grok. I'm going to share this tab instead. Probably going to go back and forth. I hope that's fine with everybody. And then you paste it. You're going to let Grok do their magic. To where they write it all live. Also, a reason, in my opinion, to get really into the Farcade ecosystem, they've done game jams with B3, they've done game jams with NounsDAO, they've done game jams by themselves. I think they're trying to work with everybody. After you build your game, you can play it on the Warpcast platform itself, which I think is huge. So we're going to preview the game, play it a little bit.
Incredible.
So the point, and I'm going to die really quick.
Or maybe you
let's
can't.
go to the code. We're going to just copy the code. We're going to go back to the Farcade Studio. Let me make sure. So it says paste your game code here. This is how difficult it all is, guys. Game error detected. We're probably going to deal with that a little bit later. Okay, now we're on the second step, integrating with Farcade itself. Important, Gronk preview will stop once you add the Farcade SDK. But you can go here to game preview to actually play it. You just can't do that on the Gronk website. So you click right here to download the NPM package. You go back to Gronk or Grok and you click paste. We can read through this really quick. It's adding the actual SDK that Farcade built. It's adding a lot of the different calls that they have, such as player actions ready, such as score taking, such as the feedback loop, jumping, everything like that. You can see Grok building it. And if anyone has any questions, please send it in the comments. You can build this live with me. You can apply to this game jam live with me. You can do all of it live with me right now.
And I highly encourage all of you to try. It is worth it. It is fun. It is easy. Let's do it. Can one make an RPG? It's worth a try.
I think people have.
Yeah,
you can probably go to the Farcade website and play it. I mean, if I do this a little too quickly, me and Luciano might have to play games.
we can build a Homebase RPG. You go through the workshops, you build on base, you build a product, it gets distribution, we take you through the whole experience.
Everything. All right, so you're going to copy everything. So this is what they're looking for, and they're automatically checking. You're going to come here and you're going to go delete code, which is something you never want to hear people do, but I just did it. Click save. It instantly verifies, but we need to preview the game to make sure it works. Reload. Okay, well, it should have ended. All right, so since it didn't end, I'm just going to copy this, go back to Grok. I guess I didn't share my screen there. Sorry, everybody. Grok's going to keep building. Why not use Vince? So the reason why they currently don't use Vince is because they're not integrated yet. Farcade is currently working on not only building their own AI machine for this, but they're looking to integrate all others. JavaScript not defined. I'm gonna go to code. I'm gonna click copy. And then I'm going to come back here to the Farcade Studio. Click code. Clear code. And paste. Save that. Game error detected. Copy add prompts. Yeah, so if you have any issues with it whatsoever, you can literally copy the prompt from Farcade. They specifically tell the issues. I'm going to go ahead and play it, see if it works. I found a cheat code. That's fine. All right, so it reported the score. Check, 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 all verified. Next, we're going to capture a gameplay video. Now, I've never tried to do a recording while on a recording. Let's see if I can do it. I know it's not sharing this with y'all. I apologize. And then I need to die. All right, I died. Close out of that tab. All right, now you can see my recording. This is what I recorded live. So we're going to trim it to 10 seconds because it needs to be a preview. Trim to 10 seconds. Trimming. Upload game. So this is me making a thumbnail. You can tell that I don't do the designs for other things because of this. One second. Capture and upload. Thumbnail updated successfully. Done, done, done. Just going to ignore that because I've already done that. And last, you're going to click, I guess I can't. Watch the only issue I have be with the non-technical part. By the way, for everyone in the comments, Chuck Stock is the founder of Farcade. So hopefully I don't do him a disservice.
Hey, Homebase Invaders, love to see it.
Game preview. Leave it. Yeah, I might just refresh the page. That's actually a good idea. Capture and upload. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All good. Check, 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 check. And the game's pretty cool. Done, done, done. Continue. And we did it! How fast did I do that? Did someone time me?
It was like not even 15 minutes. Like literally 10 minutes.
It's that easy to build on base. How much code did I write? None.
Homebase Invaders. Can you rename it to Homebase Invaders?
I probably can.
I just like
So after you submit the game, it's going to be on review. The Farcade team has to review each game before it goes public on their platform.
oh
Something
dang.
that I think is really cool after this.
So we can't just like post spam and
Yeah.
garbage games. Damn it.
I mean, I wish I probably would have posted this game 20 times over.
It should be the only game on Farcade.
Uh, so I'm going to go here.
Homebase is not on Blue Sky yet, but maybe eventually.
Who's this guy?
Never seen him before.
Oh, KOL. So cool. Anyway, we're
Well,
going to
the
go to
protocol
mini
says
apps.
it's like 10K followers. So.
We're going to go to mini apps. We're going to go to Farcade. As you can tell, it's game time. And this is why I recommend everybody build on Farcade. You get a daily streak, you get points, you get everything. It's everything you want. And look, right there, airdrop coming 2025. Who knows? I might have just made $1. Trending today, they have thousands of games for everyone to play. 34K players, like 34K users, 98K, everything. Farcade itself is an amazing tool for people to use. Lastly, I'm going to do a quick showcase of one thing. Building a game is absolutely fine. Now it's the argument of after you built your game, where do you put it? Which I think is a really, really funny way to mention it. Luciano, could you bring my screen on stage?
I can indeed. Bam. And then I'm going
Sweet.
to add you back up too. I made it full screen so people could see, but I'm going to add you back up so they can see both.
Give me 1 second.
Ooh, you hear that, Chuck? So they have a lot more monetization features coming soon. So if you are a game dev, you better be paying attention.
Well, not only do you need to be paying attention, but they have a game jam going on right now. You can win money, and who knows, maybe you could apply to both game jams, get the airdrop, get the new monetization features. Anyway, I need to
If
stop
you,
blabbing. I like Farcade a little too much.
if you want to participate in the game jam, what's the best way for them to?
You're definitely going to join their Discord for the most part. If you follow them on Twitter, you're going to get a lot more updates. But if you join their Discord, it's best for developer support. If you run into any issues whatsoever, always go to the Farcade Discord because those are the people that'll be able to help you. I think Nouns is just giving their IP for the jam itself. Hey Gray, I love what you just said. Guess what? B3. It's got to be there. So after you build your game, the big problem is how do you get distribution? How do you get people to use your game, play your game? How do you monetize your game? Everything like that. You can either try to do everything yourself, or you can do what Base is known for and collaborate. Base is known for collaboration towards builders working with other builders. Different games such as Foxaria, they're collaborating with over 25 meme coins, helping with marketing, helping bring everybody. Same with Barrio, same with everything. All right, so we're going to talk about a few. The first one, in my opinion, is Warpcast. As you showed, I just brought up Farcade on Warpcast itself. Warpcast has, I mean, how many users do you think? At least 1 million. At least
I think 37 to be exact.
37 million users.
No,
And
no,
they
like literally just
probably
37.
oh, okay. It's just
That's the running joke on Farcaster that there's only 37 users, but I'd say it's around 10 to 20K but for DAUs. But
yeah, I could see it. But then there's games such as Farmville where people keep coming back, such as Stoke Fire, where they keep coming back. And I think that the benefits of building and porting your game over to Warpcast as a mini app is, first of all, it's a mini app store. Their documentation is amazing. Second of all, easy distribution to your target audience. If you want to build a game for Web3, you need to market it to Web3. There's limited competition on Warpcast versus other traditional app stores. Something that Luciano pointed out was How much did you say Steam is taking? 40%?
I think it's 30, but it probably is more. It's probably closer to 40%.
Unity in general was trying to have a fee-based service to where if you had X number of users, you got charged like 10%. And that's just the game engine. So I definitely recommend building on Warpcast. It's your target audience and it's a cult-like community. Next one, which is already talked about in the comments, I did a quick preview. Shout out to gray.base.eth for bringing up B3. B3.fun is the biggest gaming platform on Base. I say arguably because I have to be nice. I think they're the biggest. They have 6 million total wallets, 6 million total users. If you're building a game, you can easily list it on B3. They share your game revenue. It's a cult-like community and easy distribution. My favorite thing about B3 in general is a collaborative team. You can watch the base game night that we did last week. B3 was on there. 3 partnerships came out of there, and there were only 4 total people. That means they partnered with 75%, just hoping to get distribution. I love that Gray even pointed out that the team loves to support builders. They were there to launch Base from the beginning. Now they're here to build on Base and bring the user adoption to Base. I think that gaming is the best way to do it. There's 3.3 billion gamers out there. B3.fun, I really think will bring maybe 100 million. I know they can't get all 3.3 billion, but they can get a good portion. I mean, 6 million total wallets is pretty huge. Next is Farcade. I really don't need to explain the amazingness of Farcade. They have over 1 million players to my knowledge. You can look at their app store. You can see certain games that have 1 million plays. They're on Warpcast and Farcade for easy distribution on both platforms. Easy AI integration. It was so easy. I built my game in 15 minutes. What platform is better than that? And lastly, they're a heavy developer ecosystem. And I mean heavy developer. If you're a developer or even if you're a non-developer, you can build your game with their AI. You can get expert feedback from their Discord, and then you can work with them specifically to actually get distribution for that game. I mean, it took Chuck Stock probably 20 minutes to join the space. It was just a random space. We didn't invite him anything. He joined the space. He saw that we were talking about Farcade, and who knows? He might even join later on. Next is Aviator Arcade. I'm a big fan of Aviator. I think what they're building is actually really cool. The Aviator team is a dev-heavy team. They're building Skybridge, which is easy bridging to any chain. Originally, they built Skybridge as a way for Solana projects to instantly port their entire project over to Base. Their community-owned DAO with over 200 active voters. I think they're very interesting. They're heavily Unity focused. So if you're an Unreal developer, this probably isn't for you. You can bridge your ERC20 tokens from any chain or network into Base. They're a cult-like community with big backed players. And something I like about Aviator is if we included them in this tweet or the announcement of this event, there would probably be 3 times the audience just because Aviator's community shows up for everything, regardless.
Well, remind me to tag them.
You probably can on the post announcement just so we can get we can go viral. There's Barrio. Barrio is another cult-like community. They're mainly focused on browser-based games, which is a pretty big niche, pretty big area. For Unity, you convert it to WebGL. For Unreal, I'm not very familiar, but I know that it's browser-based as well. For a lot of other games, you do 3JS. So I think Barrio is a really good platform. It's easy listing of games. They have a really good monetization strategy. Currently, they have a game jam going on. It ends in about 18 days with about 12K of prizes. So be one of the first games to be built on the Barrio platform. Be one of the first games to get listed. And yeah, I think Barrio is pretty cool. Last, to my knowledge, because I know that there's more, I see Gray in the comments talking about Aura, and I should have added Aura in this because they are pretty huge. But it's Rise. Rise is a rather small game engine, And the reason why they're small is they're not necessarily the best whenever it comes to marketing. They've hosted 5 game jams so far with an average attendance or average distribution of about 17 games per event. But Rives is very dev heavy. If you're an amazing developer such as Luciano or pretty much anyone other than myself, Rives is kind of the platform for you. Rives, so to explain it, it's a verifiable entertainment system that runs on the Linux operating system through a RISC-V emulator. Whew. So developers can use any programming language to build their games, such as C, C++, Rust, Zig, Nebula, anything. If it is Linux compatible, you can build it with Rives. From my knowledge, their entire team is developers. It's about 9 developers. They're extremely active in the Discord. They built games. They've built a plethora of games with other people. They've collaborated with non-developers. And just like Farcade, you can use AI to build your games with Rives. It might take a little longer than 15 minutes, because 15 minutes is pretty quick. But yeah, if you want to build a fully on-chain game, fully Web3, Rives is the platform for you. I definitely recommend looking into them. And yeah, Rives is pretty cool. I think that's my entire presentation. I probably ended it a little bit early, but I saw Chuck Stock in the in the comments section. I hope it's okay, but I added him to the meeting. There he is.
And now you get to meet the man himself.
I know.
It's
We're
cool that
having
people
a
are saying they remember Rives as well from the last session. So it's cool that we're already getting some callbacks.
yeah. Rives is pretty good, but
There's
we're
nothing.
having a bit of audio issues, and I know it'll be solved fast. I mean, if you can build a game in 15 minutes, I know that he'll solve his audio issues even faster.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious. He created a way for people to build games and get distribution within literally 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I really think that almost anyone that watched this workshop could honestly just easily do the Nouns DAO hackathon or Nouns DAO game jam. Chuck Stock, do you wanna talk about the game jam a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sweet. Yeah, so we partnered with Nouns DAO to do a game jam with them for the FarCon conference that's coming up in 2 weeks. So this game jam actually runs a lot longer than most of ours. Most of our game jams are usually only a few days, but this one's going to be 3 weeks or 4 weeks until the final submission. But a lot of it's just using the AI tools exactly like the Space Invaders game you built. Honestly, if you just did that and used some Noggles or some Nouns IP, then that game would qualify and you'd be in the game jam. And I think something I'm super excited about with these AI tools is just this. I think we're going to see like a whole new wave of creativity get unlocked, because I think engineers are not actually the most creative people. They're the only ones who have been able to make games. And now that anyone can make games, I'm just really excited to see what's going to come out of it. And the game jams we've done already have been pretty incredible. People are really, really talented. So, but that's the Nouns game jam. They're giving away $800. We're giving away 100,000 arcade points for our TGE that's coming up later this year. Yeah, so that's a lot of what's going on.
No,
And where should people go?
Where should people go? Yeah, go to there's the Nouns. I don't know what the best way to share the link is here, but there's
I can
right in the
I'll
Twitter
share it in the
comments.
comment section.
Yeah.
Let me share the link with you. I'm just gonna send it to
Oh,
you on Telegram.
I have it. I think I can do it.
Yeah, it's if you go to the Nouns site, they have all the information for the stuff you need to use as links back to the Farcade for building your first game. You obviously saw Zach make a game. It's way easier than people think it is. Obviously, there's infinite depth. You can get as creative and crazy as you want. Like we have people making these really wild 3D games now and stuff. So it's infinitely interesting, but it's also very easy to get into it. And that's a lot of what I do a lot these days, is try to do demos like Zach just did, just to prove how quickly you can make these games now.
And out of curiosity, sorry, Zach, I'm just really curious. In regards to the Nouns proposal, did people from Nouns community reach out and like say like, hey, like maybe this would be a good idea?
Yeah, so actually our highest played community game. It was called Higher, which was made by a Nouns member named Sam. So that's just like it's a total coincidence that he just loved their platform. He has like a 100-day streak on the Farcade. And he just really wanted to make a game. He really just thought it'd be fun to make one, and he ended up making the most popular game that wasn't made by the team. And so it's really impressive how well that game's done.
I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
He accidentally made the most popular game on the platform. That's so cool.
Yeah, well, I think
that's what Farcade's about, right?
Yeah, and it's been such like an interesting part of it. Like one of the games that I made was called Black Hole, which we almost didn't launch because I was like kind of embarrassed by it. I was like, I don't know if anyone's gonna like this game. It's kind of like it needed a lot of love, in my opinion. And then we launched it, and it's been played like almost 750,000 times. Like people just play that game nonstop. They really really enjoy it. And
Black Hole's my favorite game, actually.
Oh, I love that, and I think that's what is going to be really special with the Farcade is like, I think the parallel I draw a lot to what we're trying to do. Oh, there it is. The parallel I draw a lot to like what's happening in gaming is the way I felt like YouTube and TikTok revolutionized video. I think with games, we always thought of things being these AAA Hollywood style movies, these Unity games, these Unreal games. And I don't think we really appreciate what's going to happen. It's like hyper casual, really fast play, fastly made games that are super social. And I think that's what we're trying to do with the Farcade is unlock this like next generation of gaming that is very fun, very social, very quick games that maybe are only fun for a few times, but it only took you 10 minutes to make the game. So it was worth it. Can
you tell me about the distribution on the Warpcast platform? For a lot of game developers, I recommend them build mini apps so they can list it on Warpcast. Can you tell me like how that distribution is? Because I know for games such as Farmville, it's really good.
Yeah, and you've seen me like probably chat about like
no, I've seen you
Warpcast, World Chain, etc.
No, it's we see this mini apps is like what I've tried to tell people. I've been a developer for over 10 years now. I've been in the space for a long time, and we haven't seen a distribution hack like this since like the early Facebook and MySpace days when you could build games and stuff into those ecosystems. That's how the original Farmville and Zynga blew up. There was no better way to get users than those types of tools. And this is a really rare opportunity as a builder to have this like incredible distribution hack to get eyeballs and get users very fast. Warpcast mini apps, world mini apps, like these are just unbelievable platforms. And Farcaster's been incredible for us, especially since you can go viral on a social media feed. People can share, and then that shows up in feeds, and people can click one button and immediately be playing. It doesn't get much cooler than that. And I think Farcaster in particular makes up about 20% of our total users, and they make up 50% of our DAU. So it's incredibly high value users.
Yeah, I'd love just stopping by the Farcade every once in a while and just like seeing what's new and like seeing what can be played. It's just so easy, like just the experience is so easy and just so fun. It's perfect.
Appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. It's definitely like a goal with hyper casual mobile games. Is like it all started from me like doom scrolling TikTok at like 2 a.m. and I see those stupid little games and people are like, it's like I just want to play it once. I just want to try it once, but I'm not going to go download the game and create the account. But if I could just play it, I would. And that's like a lot of like the genesis for this is there's just so many games that everyone wants to play at least a few times, and maybe you do get hooked and you play it for a lot longer. But I think there's a lot of gaming that's not happening because of how hard it is to download and go through onboarding and all that friction. But I think that's what I tell people a lot. Like if you're looking to grow and you're in a crypto space or you're in Web3, like there's no better place than like Farcaster right now. I think World App is a really close second.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it's really hard to match the ease of distribution there, and the ability just to go viral through social is so important, and just another great asset to have as a builder. And Farcaster's gonna be really really prominent on the new Coinbase wallet. So
that's true. So there's a big base hackathon happening at the end relatively soon. I think it's either at the end of the month or next month, and there's an accelerated program after with over 1 million in prizes. What advice do you have for these new game developers coming into Web3? Like, what things do you have to share as a founder?
I think I think the biggest thing that I've learned is how important stories are, and that great products don't speak for themselves anymore. Like, I think there used to be a time 10 years ago where if you just had a good quality product, that's how you won. I'm good friends with a guy named Paul Bettner who created Words with Friends and was like a pretty big gaming OG. And I was talking to him about that. He's like, it was a different time. He's like, there was a many Words with Friends clones, but our game loaded 500 milliseconds faster than the next closest one. We just won by just being a better technical product. But that just doesn't really work anymore. Like right now, everybody has so much vying for their attention. So trying to find ways to be creative and stand out and have like a story that's compelling. And if you're a founder, you have to be public. Like you have to learn to post. You have to learn to write and share content. Otherwise, like people just won't discover you. So don't try to let the product be the only way that you're growing, and try to like really share what you're building.
It's almost that like products are iterating too fast across the board, so you can't get that network effect fast enough. Like your product won't stay the best long enough for you to get the network effect fast enough anymore. So it's like a really interesting problem to have. And somebody else in the comments asked, "What's the future of on-chain components getting integrated into AAA titles?" I think this is a really interesting question.
I can tell. So AAA is tough. Like AAA, I think the regulatory environment is obviously like hopefully getting better in the US, but I think AAA, they just play in a different ball game. And I think it's harder to imagine like what these like really big ecosystems are going to look like. But from like a Web3 standpoint, you can see it anywhere from items, inventories, bringing all that stuff on chain. Tokens are great for building economies and managing economies. Managing economies is extremely difficult and like a huge part of like the problem. I know with World of Warcraft in particular, World of Warcraft had to hire like MIT economists to come in to help like balance the inflation and all the assets and like the growth of everything happening in that game. And it was a huge problem with like gold in that game, with like gold farmers and all this stuff. And so I think I'm more excited about what things like that. I've seen other people doing things that like we're trying to do. I'm more excited by using tokens to create like shared incentive and alignment amongst like builders and developers. And so that's what I'm really excited about. And that's something that, we're launching hopefully sooner rather than later, is a lot more on-chain monetization for all these games that are going live. And I think tokens are going to be one of the few like defensible moats in the long run, where you can actually build these really strong network effects. Like you're talking, Luciano, was that it's really hard to build network effects now because we move on so fast and like nothing has enough time. But tokens can give you enough time, because tokens can give a lot of people a lot of buy-in and like turn people into stakeholders. And I think there's going to be a lot more stuff on chain. And Gray just said something like attestation for scores and leaderboards. That's like a lot of stuff that we're looking at. So I think a lot of stuff that a lot of people are going to be doing that's going to be really exciting, which is on-chain player achievements, history, like provenance of all the things we've accomplished as a gamer. I think it's something that's been really missing, especially from like the competitive landscape. I think everybody would love to have like an NFT of like, oh, I was number 10 on this one game at one point, and like here's this NFT or on-chain data that I can prove it with. So yeah, we'll definitely see a lot more of that too from AAA, which is player reputation and profiles being on-chain.
That's actually probably the best case scenario, because everyone's current profiles are across Microsoft and PlayStation and Steam and who knows what else, like Epic Games, etc. So being able to like actually have that in one place would be incredible. We're getting
Speaking of profiles, I really think base names could be really huge across a lot of games. If you have a base name, don't forget to drop it in the comments.
Yeah, if you have a base name, you better go get one now if you want your gaming profile.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on base names. I was talking to Jesse a couple days ago, and he was sharing some of the stuff that they're working on with the new Coinbase wallet and their vision for base names. And I was extremely excited, not only as a consumer but also as a builder. It looks like they're going to be solving a lot of problems with identity and those types of things. So definitely get a base name if you don't have one already, and start checking that out, because I think it's going to be very good for a lot of things to be involved with the base name and in that ecosystem.
Yeah, no, it's growing really fast.
Yeah,
and that frankly it's a lot thanks to you. I built a game in 15 minutes thanks to you, thanks to your platform.
thanks to you guys.
I think it's just extremely collaborative. because like you said, Nouns DAO joined your last game jam. They built the most popular game on your platform. Now they're doing a game jam with you. I know you did a
Really
game
cool.
jam with B3 as well.
Mhm.
They're bringing their users to you just like you are to them.
Yeah.
So I think Base is extremely collaborative, and it's an amazing place for builders to go in general.
Base is for everyone.
Base is
Yeah.
the place.
Base is the place. It's been fun. Everybody, Base reminds me a lot of like Ethereum back in like 2016, 2017, like early days. It was really fun because it just felt so collaborative, and like everybody was just like these mad scientists trying to make this weird crypto thing work. And I feel like Base kind of has this like really nice subset of people that I really identify well with, and people are there just very excited by the tech, very excited by where it's going, and I think just a lot of great people, honestly. Like spaces like this aren't happening on a lot of chains, if any. So yeah, thanks for having me on, guys, and hosting this stuff and showing off the Farcade. It really does mean a lot to me, and I love what you guys are doing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I mean, like you said, we're all mission aligned here, so we all care about the same things. We all want the same things, and hopefully, we can all bring those to mainstream together.
Oh yeah, we got it. We'll do it. It's happening.
Oh yeah.
And thank you for joining. I kind of wish I took a little longer with your platform, but I guess it's just too easy to build on Base these days.
No, you killed it. It's really fun, and I do think it's like hopefully just gives people a little bit of a spark of just realizing it's possible, and just gets people excited to see what's happening. You did a great job. You killed it. And we'll get that game live, so we get some people playing it.
I think it's good for non-developers to kind of know that they can come fully on chain. They can build stuff. They can do stuff without really having to read all the documentation or developer docs. I mean, you noticed on your platform, I copied and pasted everything.
Yeah. You won't be copying and pasting for very long. It's going to be, I don't even know if you'll be typing very soon. Like, I think that's going to be, you're just going to be talking to your phone, making these games, and they're going to be unbelievable. That's like the future that I believe is coming and what we're trying to build. But it's wild. Like, I wish I was the Gigabrain guys making LLMs. I can't take all the credit for everything that they're doing, but it's a very cool world we're stepping into where anybody's really a senior level engineer, and everyone should feel very empowered to like start building and creating, because it's going to be very fun.
Yeah.
One of Waka Flocka's very first casts on Farcaster was about how like they need to make like Waka Bird or like Flappy Waka or whatever, like the Flappy Bird version with Waka Flocka's head, and they literally could do that right now. Like we could on Homebase.
I gotta go find that cast. I'm gonna go make it for him real quick. Or Zach, you can make it. I want to see you do it.
I think that one might take me maybe 16 minutes to do. 1 minute extra. 1 minute extra.
But something that you did say, Zach, which is like, I think you said you hope you could make $1 building games in the Farcade. That's going to be like the low bar. Like I think like, you know, what we're really trying to solve too is not bringing people on chain, giving builders distribution, but then also like streamlining monetization. Because as you said, Luciano, like the time that we have to get attention and grow is really small, and then the time to monetize is even shorter. So that's really what we're trying to help too, is like hopefully if you can build a game that gets tens of thousands of plays, hopefully you're making thousands of dollars, and like that's like the goal we're trying to get to.
Right. And like as cool as it is to like have celebrities bring in a ton of distribution for like a day for like a new game that they're trying to monetize very fast, you know, it's like it's cool, but like most of those players are going to stay for other games. So
yeah,
you know, like
exactly.
It is, the network effect will grow. So it's going to be really cool to see. I'm super excited and super glad to have you here. And please share your socials too, like personal and
let's just share it in this chat.
Yep. Share them right in the chat. Put them on live stream, however you want to do it.
Okay.
I kind of like that you're bringing up revenue, because that was one of my points whenever it comes to why building a game on chain, why building a game in Web3 in general. There's almost no money in Web2 games. There's so little money, they even have their own term, indie developer. And we need to get to a place to where not only are the players making money, but the developers are making more money, easier distribution all around, and easier mechanics for them to build. I built a game in Web2 before. I tried launching it on Steam. It did go on Steam, but hardly any users. I was trying to sell it for like 99 cents, and I still have to give 30% of that to the platform itself.
Yeah.
I'd rather just
don't give you the distribution you're looking for.
I'd rather do what I just did on stream, build a game in 16 minutes and get distribution, get rewards, get revenue, get everything. I think
Yeah.
Web3 is really changing the face of gaming, and I think it's going to be really big in the future.
I 100% agree.
And seems to be getting big now too.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild 6 months. I think we're gonna have a lot to show, and I think you guys will have. I want to see both of you guys on top of the top charts with games. I believe you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
All right, so we're gonna have to start moving on to our AI agent workshop next. But thank you so much, Zach. Thank you so much, Chuck. Really appreciate you both for hopping on it and sharing more. And definitely would love to have you both back sometime. So we'll make sure to get that figured out. But until then, Alvida Zane, ciao, and thank you very much.
No, thanks for having us. See you, man.
bye, guys.